What's up guys, this is Bound here, and today we're going to be looking at the Regulation Set C for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, they did change the terms from series to regulations, as we can see here. So for example, Series 1 regulations will now be referred to as Regulation Set A. So you can go up by letter every time a new series is out. So Series 2 is going to be Regulation Set B, and then Series 3 is going to be C. So what makes Regulation Set C different from Regulation Set B? We can go ahead and take a look at the eligible Pokemon and scroll down, and we can see that the 4 Ruin Legendaries are going to be allowed in the next series. So starting from April 1st, those Pokemon are going to be allowed, and that is going to be ran until June 30th, I believe. Yep. So June 30th, and so let's go take a look at these Ruin Legendaries in detail, because they're going to be meta defining for sure. So out of these 4 Ruin Legendaries, the Pokemon that I'm mostly scared of is Ting-Lu because of its tankiness. Like, look at this: 155 HP, 125 physical defense, 80 special defense, which 80 might sound kind of average, but Vessel of Ruin kind of patches that up because you get basically a free assault vest, but with 20 instead of 33% more special defense is 25%, and you can just use status moves, so you don't even have the drawback of an assault vest, so you can just, like, I feel like this is what people are going to be using like a lot: Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ruination, and then it can even phase you out, so anti-setup, you can't even set up against it. So it's just going to control the game, Stealth Rock, spam Whirlwind, and then if you have like a tank, it can just get weakened very hard by Ruination, or just like a hard wall that doesn't care about Ting-Lu's stuff with Earthquake and Stealth Rock and stuff. So Ting-Lu is like ultimately going to be like one of the best support Pokemon. It's even better than Hippowdon, and Hippowdon's already pretty meta, so you can just imagine how meta this is going to be when it comes out. And then there's even crazy stuff with like Assault Vest Ting-Lu, because when you already have an Assault Vest, you can just, why not put another one to make your special defense even more broken, because you can just get away with it. And then it gets one hit KO move Fissure. So this is a big problem because Ting-Lu can already survive like 5 or 6 hit, or like depending on the matchup, it can survive like 4 to 5 hits. So like it can just throw out that many fissures and hope it lands, and it just has a lot of other like decent options that don't require any investment because the base power is pretty good. Like Throat Chop is not bad, Earthquake, I mean, can't go wrong with Earthquake, and then Body Press. You're investing, if you invest max in a physical defense, you're just going to be taking way more hits and then having a stronger Body Press. And it just has so many other options. You can even go Rock Slide for like flying types that give you an issue. Corviknight does stop this thing pretty bad, but because it can like Iron Defense and like Body Press and stuff like that. But when you have this Ting-Lu, then it actually doesn't even matter, because Whirlwind and then Ruination can just push it down below half, and then you can Earthquake it when it roosts. So Corviknight actually might struggle against Ting-Lu, which is really dumb when you think about it. So yeah, that's basically a quick rundown of Ting-Lu. And then Chi-Yu is the next one I'm going to be talking about, because Chi-Yu is probably the strongest special attacker in the game because of the ability Beads of Ruin. So it basically reduces the special defense of opponents' Pokemon by 25%. So, or at least Pokemon, yeah, basically without the ability. So pretty much everything. Terra Blast and Fire Blast, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower is just the sample moves that I kind of put on, because I mean, maybe you can like Terra Blast some dragons or something, but this thing is going to be very strong. It does have bad physical bulk, so 55 and 80 isn't that good at all. So HP being low is bad, but it balances it out because Chi-Yu just does insane amounts of damage, especially with like choice specs. You're kind of just gonna one-shot almost everything in the game, but your speed isn't that good. It's like average. Like the meta's been being speed crept by like Fluttermane, Iron Bundle, Dragapult, even like Chien-Pao when it comes out, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. But yeah, a lot of Pokemon are going to be kind of outspeeding Chi-Yu, especially a lot of the Paradox Pokemon, right? So that kind of makes it average. So that's why it kind of has to run Choice Scarf to keep up, which I mean kind of patches up its flaw, to be fair, but it still has to take hits, which it can't really switch into stuff. Maybe like some type of special attack that resists, because you have good special defense. Like 120 is insanely inflated. Like that's just unnecessary. But yeah, Chien-Pao is the next one I'll be talking about. So yeah, Chien Pao, look at this, 120 attack and 135 speed. So I mean, you're kind of just going to be very strong and very fast. Like you can, like this, again, this is the speed creep. So outspeeding pretty much everything except for speed ties with Flutter Mane. Speed loses to Iron Bundle and loses to things like Dragapult. But Dragapult is kind of falling off because it doesn't really have that much power. It banks on you guessing wrong on its moveset. That's basically what Dragapult is. Also, like Screen's Dragapult is popping up a lot. I guess the Japanese meta is kind of shifting quite a bit recently, but other than that, Dragapult isn't really that much of a threat anymore. So basically, this thing's going to be outspeeding everything in the game, on top of having insane damage because you can just run Choice Band. It gets priority, so even if something does outspeed you like the Dragapult, it's just going to get completely destroyed. And then, or even, I don't know if Archshot is a one-hit, but I'm guessing with Sword of Ruin, it's probably is going to be a one-hit because Sword of Ruin is just dumb. So Sword of Ruin kind of lowers your opponent's defense by about 25%. And the dumb thing about this, the most stupid thing about this is that there's no ability that can just stop this. This is going to be guaranteed unless there's like a wheezing with neutralizing gas, but that's not even in the game. So there's nothing in the game that can just kind of put this thing at a little bit of a disadvantage, but even then it's just going to be very strong regardless. So its coverage isn't even like, its coverage is good. Like Sacred Sword fighting for like those steel types, and then Crunch, Crunch is very spammable because Dark has very few resistances. Ice Crash is very spammable as well because you can get flinches and, I mean, strong stab move. Sacred Sword kind of gets matchup specific. You can probably run like just all stab moves and just have like Sucker Punch instead. So Chien Pao kind of just has a lot of stuff, but only problem with Chien Pao is that it has bad bulk. So like, it's funny because this bulk used to be considered average in Pokemon, but as we've gotten past each generation, power creep has just gotten more and more of a thing. So there's just Pokemon that are like as strong as Chien Pao but have like better bulk, or almost as strong as Chien Pao and have like better bulk. So this bulk is considered below average now, which is crazy to think about, but that's just how it is. So when you predict let's say you like Terra against Chien Pao and live one of its hits, Chien Pao's gonna die pretty much, unless you have like a tank that doesn't do that much damage. But that's just how defensive power creep has gotten. Look at Ting Lu. This thing, it has even more bulk than Dondozo, because Dondozo has less HP, less defense, and less special defense. And then, like, it pretty much, it's just stupid. Like, it's just crazy how much inflation of stats we have seen in this generation. So last Ruin Legendary is Rochian, and I don't know what Terra types Rochian. Rochian probably wants to Terra a lot of the time because its typing has like 6 or 7 weaknesses, or probably even more than that, because Dark and Grass, Dark has like 3 or 4 weaknesses, Grass has like 6 weaknesses, and they can kind of combine to like 8 or 9. It's just not good. So Rochian kind of has to Terra to get max effectiveness, because a lot of opposing Pokemon are probably just going to have super effective hits against this. So, but when this thing does Terra, it can just be one of the most annoying Pokemon, I feel like, because Leech Seed very complements this thing very well. And then if you try to switch in something to prevent like the cycle of Leech Seed and stuff, you're just going to get knocked off, you're just going to get crippled pretty hard. And this thing has other options like Ruination to just mess you up, like mess up a tank that wants to switch in, or just mess up an opposing grass type that wants to immune the Leech Seed and stuff like that. You know, it can be very annoying. And yeah, I could see this thing getting some usage too, like because of how, like, even though its typing is bad and it doesn't have that much variability, like these stats are ridiculous. Look at this, 85 HP, so average, you know, tank HP, and then 100 defense and 135 special defense. So like, you don't even, like, the thing is, if you invest in HP and invest in special defense, that's probably gonna be like not even a bad thing, because Tablets of Ruin just makes your physical durability already better. So you can probably go like, maybe you can like drop this and then put the rest into this, and that way the ability will just kind of make this balance out with this. So you're just gonna be taking both sides of the spectrum very well. So yeah, Wilchian is gonna be pretty scary. But yeah, I think a main two are Ting Lu and Chanpao, or I think those are going to be the biggest threats. Chi is probably going to be pretty pretty good because its typing is like hard to switch into. Chanpao is the same kind of thing, but Chanpao's speed is better than Chi so Chanpao is going to be harder to prevent in general, especially since it has priority moves. So yeah, Tinglu is and also Tinglu is also just very scary. You can also like defensively Terra too, like maybe Terra ground to remove some of the weaknesses, and then Terra water or something to kind of make it even harder to kill. Like, this thing is just ridiculous. So yeah, this is kind of a early video like to post, but I think it's fine because I think the preparations should already start for Pokemon that are this meta breaking, like Tinglu and Chanpao. So yeah, we'll just have to see how things go. But yeah, until then, I will see y'all next time. Peace.